You're watching Paris for Kids.
This is Paris for Kids, and this is video 2, the second of 3 about the Luxembourg Gardens. Let's recap. You've exited the Poussin Vert playground and turned right, and you've had the carousel experience. If you continue walking in a straight line, you will soon see the swings right in front of you. I call them swings, but they're not like any swings I've ever seen. They're big green metal gondolas, and they're kind of scary looking. They're perfectly safe and really fun, provided your child holds on tightly and stays seated until the crate is motionless again. But you can't stop them quickly, and you have to make sure you stand back, because if one were ever to hit you, it would hit you in the chest and the head, and either kill you or land you in a sickbed for months. The swings cost €2.50 for 5 minutes. However, the women operating the swings will often let you stay on longer than that, so don't hurry off. They are very fair and want the children to be happy with their rides. And if they tell you after 10 minutes that your ride is over, you can always pay another €2.50 for another 5 or 10 minutes. If you walk north from the swings, you'll find a main path that leads to the Grand Bassin, the shallow octagonal pool in the center of the gardens. On this path there are ponies for children to ride. There are 2 rides, a longer and a shorter one, the first costing 2 tickets and the second costing 1. The long ride lasts about 10 to 15 minutes. Most children love this. If your children are extremely young, between 3 and 6 say, you're allowed to walk the course with them. If they are older and pushing to ride on their own, you can feel free to let them do so because the rides are very safe. The animals are well cared for and very docile, and the trainers are very conscientious. As well, there are ropes linking all the animals, so the pony your child is on can't decide to wander off with your child. And here is something else to consider. The rides are discounted substantially if you buy lots of tickets in advance. If you're in Paris for more than a week, it will definitely be worthwhile to buy the largest package of tickets the pony people offer, because the savings are significant and you will use the tickets. The ponies travel to a number of parks besides the Luxembourg, and your tickets are valid in each of these parks. In later videos, I'll talk about the other parks in Paris, and especially the 4 of them that have the ponies. When you get to France, you can check out the pony website for schedules. Here it is, www.animapony.com. So far, we've been going east and north, so you've reached the ponies. Now it's time to reach the Grand Bassin itself. As I said, it's a pool, but it's not for swimming or wading, it's just decorative. But you can rent sailboats to float on the pool. They rent by the half hour. A lot of children seem to love this, and I have to say my son enjoyed racing around the Grand Bassin, hoping his sailboat would land. I didn't like it nearly as much as he did. I found the whole activity of chasing after a sailboat, whose moves were dictated entirely by waves and wind, a little tedious. But my son loved it, and maybe your children will too. A word of warning, though. There is no shade of any kind in the area around the Grand Bassin, and on a hot, sunny day, the heat could be cruel. If you keep heading east towards Boulevard Saint-Michel, you'll find the bandstand. I've never heard good music in the bandstand, but a lot of it is okay, and children like it, and it's fun just to stand and listen, or to sit and listen if you can find a chair. Many American high school bands play there. That's about the caliber you could expect. It's often okay, and sometimes it's really pretty good, but it's never truly professional. On the other hand, sometimes the quality is surprisingly bad. There is a series of concerts every year called Chopin au Jardin du Luxembourg. It sounds very grand, but the show I saw was terrible beyond belief. There were 2 beautiful, gleaming concert grand pianos, but a piano played in the open air doesn't project its sound very far, so no one in the audience could hear anything. It was a disaster. From the bandstand, if you take the path to the northwest, you'll find the Medici Fountain. It's a beautiful shaded basin with statues at the far end. You can wander up toward the statues along the sides of the basin. It's a very peaceful place to find in Paris, which is sometimes busier than it has to be. The statues at the end of the basin are Polyphemus, a cyclops or one-eyed giant, Acis and Galatea, both nymphs. By now, if you've been in the Luxembourg all morning, you're probably hungry. In the next video, I'll give you some food suggestions for the Luxembourg, and I'll also tell you a few more things to be wary of and to indulge in the gardens.